Hi friends, welcome back to my studio. I'm Katie, and today I'm going to do a mid-year review of my planner setup and what's working for me, what isn't, what I'm keeping, what I'm jettisoning for the second half of 2022. Overall, I've been really happy. Last year I was in a classic size. This year I moved down to B6 rings. And this is a great size for me. I have enough room to feel like I can do a fair amount of decorating, but I don't feel like I have to put an enormous amount down. This one's pretty full. This is a digital print one. There was a plan with me back in March that I'll link to, but it's like the right balance for me, and I'm really happy with it. For me, I think that planner piece is more like picking a size, and for me, I think it's this B6 ring size, although I think I would also be happy at like an A5, but these planner covers only come in classic and B6 wide at this point, so that's good enough for me. I'll talk more about those. So for me, it's like picking a size, and then because I design my own layouts, I can switch different layouts different weeks. Let me see if I can find an example. This isn't one I made. This was scrapbook paper, but you get the idea. So the ability to switch between different weeks but stay at this size, I think is what planner piece looks like for me for now. So that's kind of the intro. Let's talk about things. So I did a setup video for this back in January. I'll post the link up to that, where I talked about how I was planning on doing it, but I only had like 3 total pages in the whole thing. You can see I really chunked it up since then. And then I also have a quarterly update back from April that I will also post a link to. So let's start by talking about the planner cover. When I started the year, I only had this one. These are from Planners Anonymous. These are the B6 wide melodies. And I love this one. It's gorgeous. But Planners Anonymous has run some sales since then, and I've picked up a few more. So I have this Under the Stars one, this Sakura one, and the Books and Botanicals. They were on extreme discount, and I could not say no. So because this is my only planner of this size, my work planner, and I have a daily planner, but they're not of this size, and they do not want to be that size. They are smaller. I just move my planner back and forth between these different covers based on my spread that week. So in the meantime, they have like these albums, sticker albums, photo albums with stickers in them, but they're easy to just move in and out. They're just on the strings. And so based on the week, I just move my whole disc system into a different planner cover, and I mostly keep these fairly decorated. I mean, they don't need a lot of decor, so I just move back and forth. There's like a fancy pen in each of them and whatever. So this is the one that I'm in this week, although a lot of this spring has been in the Sakura one. But anyway, I love these. They feel so good. They are so pretty. I highly recommend, if you're interested, signing up for their mailing list. When they're running sales. There is a sale going right now at the time of filming. I don't know when this video is going up, so I'll post a link and you can check. But I love them. So that's that. I've been doing discs. I love the discs. I've got to decide because they're getting very full. I think I might take a couple months, maybe the first 2 quarters. This is my HB90 system here. I might take at least 1 or maybe both quarters out, and then a couple months. I don't want to go back to it being totally flat and empty, but I also don't want to change discs. So I think that's what I'm going to do. They're nice and full. These are the iridescent discs from a Happy Planner, and they're really pretty. And then let's talk layout, etc. So I always meant to make a cover for this, and I never have. The truth is that my planner lies open almost all of the time, and so I can see this stuff off the edge, but I actually never see the front. It was still nice to make a cover at some point, but I haven't. So this is my year at a glance, and it's just a place for the small amount of pre-planning that I do. Mostly I use Google Calendar, but sometimes it's helpful. I don't feel like looking up when something is, but I can just get a quick idea here about when my next annual doctor's appointment is and that kind of thing. So this actually, it's not very busy, but it works for me pretty well. It's not very busy because I don't do that much. This spread I'm going to abandon. This was a way of tracking lots of different things. This is mostly done on a Google Sheet in like a spreadsheet, where I give myself points for different behaviors that make me feel productive or happy, and a way to keep morale up. I was very consistent about it in the winter and then pretty much fell off. Once spring came, I found I didn't need quite as many coping mechanisms. So I'm going to ditch this for now, although it's possible I will bring it back next winter when the gray skies and cold weather kind of bums me out again. This is the Michigan life. I tried doing a month on one page. These were to track my insomnia and some factors related to it. I did it for long enough to get a sense of things, but I stopped. I cannot do monthlies. I don't know. These aren't in my shop. I have a different month on one page that I think I'm going to use in the next 6 months. I'm going to try that's shorter and has lines. I'm going to try that because it's already made for my shop. If you're interested in shopping printables from Baker Lane Studio, I will put the link below, and there will also be a link for my email list, and people who are subscribed to my email list get a coupon code for 20% off all of their orders all the time. So if you're interested in that. So this isn't working for me. I'm going to ditch it and consider something else. This also isn't working for me, as you can see by the fact that I have not done it in my last planner that was for takeout and taking note of what we got, but these boxes are too small. That worked in the classic, but it's a little tight for here. I could write this small, but I've just been keeping the classic one going because that's where those notes already are. This was my YouTube stats pages, and I haven't done any of it since April, so that's going great. I'll probably move these over, but I'm not going to worry about it. All these stats are in YouTube if I wanted to look at them, so we'll see. So this is my monthly spread. I've gone through a bunch of variations of this kind of, and none of them work for me. I had the milestones from the HB90 system that worked great in Q1 when I set milestones. In Q2, I did not set milestones, and they are empty. I do like tracking my stats here for like Instagram and YouTube and my email list and stuff. So I would like a place to capture that information. So I'm going to keep trying to do a monthly page. It's just a work in progress. In other months, I did write down like some budget stuff here in terms of keeping track of what I was spending. I thought there was value in that also. I'm going to keep trying, but I'm going to go to the monthly that I have in my shop with the big month and maybe do some content planning for what YouTube videos we'll post on what day, and then I can put a little of this other information in. But I don't reference it. I'm just a weekly planner kind of girl. This is the Katy Layout, and I designed this when I was thinking about moving to B6 wide to see if like this was a size I could conceive of working well for me, and I absolutely love it. If I had to stick to only one layout every week, I would do this one, and I would only be sad 1 week a month or whatever, like missing that change. I use it 80% of the time, I think, or something very similar. So I love this. This is available in my shop. There are now versions that also have journaling prompts. We'll talk more about that in a second. But no notes. Obviously, I created it for me. I named it after me. Like, not to brag, but like, this is the epitome of what I want in a planner, and I'm so happy. At the beginning of the year, I was doing these. So when you print B6, you print on a letter or A4 sheet like this. And so you get 4 sheets, 4 pages per one sheet. And so I wanted something that meant that I didn't have to choose what next week's layout would be when printing this week's layout. And so I liked this HB90 system where you prep for the week before and you recap the week after. However, I did not stick with that. So back in my quarterly review, I was still doing the recap, but I wasn't doing the prep work, and I was asking for suggestions. I've jettisoned both of those now, so I need something different. I still like having spacer pages in between my weeks so that I don't have to worry about bleed through, so that I don't have to worry about pre-picking what layout I use. It's just, but I also don't want to Frankenplan all of the time. And especially I'm moving to a more expensive paper. I'll talk about that in a second. And I don't want to waste it. I've been pretty spotty about the monthly recaps. Sometimes I've done them most of the time, but I haven't done one recently. I didn't do one for May, and we're at the end of June now. Also, I'm not crazy about my divider situation. I've been using like pages, digital pages from Planners Anonymous, and I need something different. I like them. I think they're really pretty, but I don't like how the this side is fine. On the other side, I don't like how they look together. So I might stick to using papers, but something a little more generic for the tabs, I think, maybe going forward. So I think that's most of the elements. There's nothing in the back. There's just reference for my colors, for my dot markers and my mild liners. And so I reference that quite a lot, actually. But there's nothing else back here. Just my HB90 system, which I have talked about in a couple videos, including my how my quarterly, weekly, and daily planners interact. I'll post that link. I'm sticking with the HB90 system, although I've gotten a little lazy about it, but it still keeps me on task. I'm not good at all the week of things, but I've gotten most of it done, and I do like quarterly thinking about what I might do. The other change I'm making is, I was talking about the paper. So back in April, I picked up a fountain pen interest, obsession, etc. And I wanted to work that into my planner. And so it started in my daily planner, which is the place I most experiment. This is not fountain pen, for the record, but these all are, and lots of the other pages are. But I did want to work it into my weekly spread too, because I love choosing the inks so much. Like, I really love fountain pen ink, and fountain pens are what put fountain pen ink on the page. And the regular paper worked fine, but it was a little bleedy. It wasn't like, you get some feathering. Here, I actually have an example. So like this flex, you see how bleedy that is? That works, that's the same pen that this here is done. So I had a little bit of bleed, like a little bit of a problem there on the A, but in general, things are really crisp. And on the regular paper, it bleeds through because it's too wet. But on fountain pen friendly paper, there's a little bit of shadowing here, but it's really, really not bad. And I could easily put a sticker over it, but I could also easily just leave it if there are other stickers and I fill in the spread. It's not going to be a big deal. So this is the Cosmo Air Snow paper. I'll post a link below. It's nice and white. There's also Cosmo Air Light, and that is creamier. The snow is the white one. It's nice and white. It's got a nice weight to it. It's not too thick, but it's not super thin the way a lot of fountain pen paper is. That super thin feeling is really pleasant, but isn't what I'm looking for in like my weekly planner. And it's really nice. And it means that I can use my fountain pens right on the page. Now I am using them on stickers and stuff too. I have a video planned to talk about how to make a fountain pen friendly planner, but I'm really enjoying that. And it's also great for other markers like the Zig Clean colored dots. They don't bleed through. Let me see if I can find an example. I don't have a great example for you. I do it plenty in my daily, but I'll have an example for you. These are stickers, and this is pretty light. But it's bleed through resistant. That is what it is intended for, and I really, really love that. The last thing I'm planning on changing is that this month I released a new set of planner inserts that included daily journaling prompts. There are 31 different journaling prompts. This was in collaboration with my friend Judy from JLB Crafts, who in her wellness planner does journaling, but is tired of doing the same 7 prompts every week. She's done it for years. I can't even imagine. So I came up with 31 different prompts, and I have journaling versions of a bunch of different layouts up on my site. As I said, there's a link below. So on this week, I did the journaling just in with my planning. That was a little too tight, but I had never done the journaling before, so I didn't know if I would like it or not. I did end up liking it. As you can see, by the end, I was really trying to fit as much as I could in there. So my plan is to, in order to have the print double-sided 4 pages per sheet, but not weeks right next to each other, I'm going to do a spread of my normal Katy layout and then interspersed with the journaling layout. So I will do a week of planning and then the same week of journaling and then a week of planning. And that's how I will get around the fact that I don't actually like it when my weeks butt up to each other. They've been fine here, but I would like to try journaling. I don't get any real bleed through here, so if they have to butt up next to each other, that's fine. What I really don't like is having to choose what layout I'm going to use next week when I'm not ready to yet. So one of the layouts that's not on my website yet, but will be soon, is the dashboard layout. And what I'm going to do is have this side be the journaling side for each prompt of the day, and then this side be the weekly recap, the currentlies, the memory of the week, and the end of the week kind of stuff. So when I print, I will have this page, I will have the weekly journaling on the back of my weekly. I'll be able to write in all my journaling prompts. And then when I'm ready for my next week, I can print the other side with the currentlies and the memory of the week and whatever, and to do a weekly recap not like goals the way I had been doing before, but like personal kind of journaling weekly recap. And I'm going to see how that works for me. I think it's got potential. I don't think I'm fighting against my inner nature by doing it. I'm trying really hard to know who I am and to make decisions accordingly. And I think that's compatible, but I think probably if it works for me, it's mostly going to be because I love using my fountain pens, and any excuse to use my fountain pens works for me. And so having like a journaling thing going with my fountain pens feels like a thing I might stick to. But we'll see. Part of this planner and part of what Planner Piece looks like for me is knowing that I'm never going to be content with just one thing. And so probably I'll just keep printing them a week at a time. And if it stops working for me, I'll stop printing it. I mean, I haven't printed those weekly recaps in weeks or months because I wasn't using them and I didn't have to keep printing them. So, it meant that instead I was just having some like blank pages sometimes. But yeah, here in April I did it, but it's been a while. So, yeah, this kind of thing. So, anyway, I am of the huge opinion that we should get to know ourselves and we should make the decisions accordingly. So this has been 6 months of really getting to know what I like and what I don't like. Fortunately, there's been a lot to like. I'm going to work on the monthly. It's challenging, but I'm going to see if I can find something that works for me. And if it doesn't, I'm going to ditch it. I'm going to let it go. So I hope that you also are finding a lot of joy in your planner. If you are, great. Keep it up. If you're not and you're looking for maybe a printable situation, as I said, there'll be links to my shop below if maybe something you've seen here has caught your eye. And let's all just keep planning happily together. If you like this spread, by the way, there is a plan with me. This is all stamping. And I will be doing a quarterly flip through that should be coming soon as well. That wasn't kind of the focus of today's video, but I do like to do one every quarter. So that'll be coming soon. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you'd like to see more from me, hit the subscribe button. We've got a lot more fun planning ahead of us. Bye, friends.